Alright, we're going to stick on Life's point of view. And I'm going to go through what I think his thought process was, why he chose to play the way he did, and all that kind of good jazz. Alright, so on this map, proxies, you know, it's a 1 versus 1 map. So Maru is a very, very good player, and he's respecting Maru, and that's the reason why he's scouting for these proxy 2 racks. While at the same time, with a 1v1 map, it's also really easy to scout, and he can get some really good information, and it can alter what kinds of builds he wants to do based on the information he's going to see. So if he's going to send out a drone to scout for proxies, he might as well just finish it by sending it to the exact location he knows where his opponent is. And he scouts racks first, nothing too special. He starts a gas and he puts men on gas really quickly, because if it's some kind of Reaper opening or what have you, and the guy keeps building Reapers, who knows, maybe he actually does want the speed. He spots the Marine. What does he do? Life keeps mining gas for now until he gets to 100. He actually pulls it off. He pulls one off a little early. So now he's got 2 on, and then he pulls that one off, and then he pulls that one off. So when he realized that it was just a Marine opener, or maybe even when he also does it with Reapers, but all we know is the information that we see on this replay. So we know that if Life sees Marine, he's going to pull off after mining 100 gas, and he's going to start going gasless. He starts the double queen, obviously. Make sure that he has perfect 16 mineral saturation in his main base, and then the rest of the drones are going down to his natural. He starts a 3rd queen at his natural, and he's just droning at this point, because that's the best choice. There's nothing really else you're gonna get done at this stage. He's really smart to have moved the Overlord. That's kind of just a meta play, and as you see here, Maru is wasting valuable potential reactor time. I mean, he already has a reactor for his Hellions, but, you know, it's slowing down potential Marine upgrades. Life likes to... One second. Let me make sure the scenes are correct. So, what Life goes here is he goes into 3 queen, into 3rd, and then he goes up to 5 queen. So he's starting 2 more queens, and he pulls all 3 queens on the low ground, because this is when he feels like the Hellions could show up. So he wants the 3 queens at the edge of his creep, not only to defend his creep, so he can spread the creep and while also defending it, but also to scare the Hellions potentially to run through. Because the Maru knows right now that Life has speed, Zergling speed, and so if he tries to do a run by of 3 when 3 queens are out here, and there happens to be 4 Zerglings and 1 extra queen here, he could just lose everything and only kill a couple Hellions. And so this really does scare Maru and doesn't make him kind of run by, and that's what makes this 5 queen opening so powerful. His queen's about to finish there, and so he takes actually a rather quick 3rd. And it slowed down his drone production just slightly, but because he went gasless, it didn't really hurt him too badly. He just recently got back on gas because he wants to start the double upgrades before anything else. This is where he makes some Zerglings, but they're not defensive Zerglings, they're scouting Zerglings. He's getting more creep, and now he's sending his queens over to his 3rd base now that it's done, helping finish the wall at his natural, because now he's leaving his queens away from his natural, and so there's now more exposed area at his natural. So he's ensuring that he's walling off. He's sending those 3 Zerglings around in hopes of circumventing the Hellion scout. You know, Maru actually didn't have that tower at that moment, but he could have, and he wanted to make sure that he got these Zerglings run by. And he's going to pick up some really valuable information here. Looks like those 3 queens right up here did scare away the 4 Hellions. he might have been able to run in and kill 4 drones or so, but he might have lost a Hellion, maybe 2. If there are any kind of Zerglings here, he could lose all 4, and then he only kills 3 drones and loses all 4 Hellions. Loses complete map control. This creep gets spread twice as fast. That means the 4th base is way more defendable in the late game. What's up, Long Shadow? Thanks for tuning in, man. So essentially, what you end up having is an extremely powerful late game because he lost his Hellions and guaranteed such powerful creep spread to happen in the mid game. So Maru sees those 3 queens, says, "I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to pull back." So he pulls back, and meantime, Life's got a 3-link counterattack to try and scout, or maybe pick something off. But because there's a bunker, he scouts a bunker. He's not trying for anything special. He realizes that he's not really going to get anything damage done-wise. And as you see, he actually clicked on that reactor. He wanted to see if there's any possible way to get any more intel. If you look at his vision, he does see the CC as well. So he really has all the information. He doesn't see the starport, but he knows with the reactor there that chances are there's going to be another barracks. You're not going to have another like a reactor that you took off a factory and starting double, starport production with only 2 Marines. Chances are it's the 3rd factory or 3rd barracks. And he sees a double engineering bay, so he knows he's kind of focusing on Marine production right now. So he has a really good understanding of Maru's build right now. So I think he feels very comfortable, and that's why he's got more drones on the way. He's playing his just standard, I'm going to get up to 60 drones. His drones just finished 60 harvesters, and then take his lair. And now he's starting 4 more gases. Bailey Nest was super late this game, but I think it had something to do with the Ling Scout not being really denied, or the fact that Maru just seems so passive. If Maru was a little more aggressive with his units, I think he would have been a little more afraid to go bailing lists. But because Maru wasn't really showing any kind of intention of aggression, he felt like he could delay this, and it was the right choice. And that kind of just helps Life eke out that 2 extra kind of drones earlier on. And now he's taking just a 9-minute 4th base because he's Life and he's a baller. He's spreading the creep like crazy on this side because he knows that you honestly have to have creep to your 4th base. You have to have creep here in order to defend this base. If you don't have creep to your 4th base, it's really tough to defend it. Oh, and this is a really good moment here, actually, coming up.
No.
Alright, so this was one of the coolest parts of Game 1. I really enjoyed this, of Life. Alright, so right here, this is a very pivotal moment in the game. This is something that won Life the game right here. Maru sending his army, and Maru knows that he has a double medevac and 16 Marines, and that's really awesome. And you don't want to lose those Marines at all. You have the medevacs. You finally have the medevacs, which means that you're some guy just danced behind me. That's funny. It's probably Davis. But so you have the medevacs, which not only, of course, heal the Marines, but they can also pick them up. And he knows Life doesn't ever really get super fast mutas, so he never really wants to lose those Marines, which means he wants to make sure that they don't die, which means you should look at them. So Life knows this. He spots this army, and for a second he thinks, "Ooh, I'm going to attack those Marines," and then realizes, "No, I'm going to lose too many Zerglings. Let me attack this supply depot, and it'll tell Maru he's under attack." So Maru instantly hears that he's under attack, and he looks over here, and now his attention is here, and that allows him to get through. Maru's focused on saying he's under attack, and if you look at any good Terran, they're going to tell you that they agree that if they're looking away from their army and all of a sudden there's a "you're under attack" symbol or alert right where their army is, they have to look right away. Terrans, if they're told that their army is under attack, they need to look right away, because if there were 3 Bailings with that army and he lost all 16 of those Marines, Maru could just lose his 3rd right there, force the lift off, and then Life just essentially wins the game because he can just choke him out and prevent him from taking a 3rd forever after that moment. So he really has to look back at his army the second he hears this under attack, or the second he sees some alert. And so the second he pulls his attention over to the supply depot, there's no reason for Life to be attacking the supply depot. No reason at all. This is a stupid choice if he didn't have this Link counterattack. But he does, and that's what makes this attack so smart and so intelligent. And that allows Life to get into the main base. Maru doesn't notice it. He just wants to pick up and do his double drop. Now he notices it. Has to pull his SCVs. Does a good job with this choke. Doesn't even lose those 2 Marines. But still, it stopped a lot of mining. Now you're looking at a quite large disparity on the income tab, and Life's loving that. Now Life knows that, alright, I just need to keep some army at home and make sure I don't, take economic damage as well. And some of his Zerglings didn't all fight together, and that scared him a little bit. But in the meantime, he was lucky, fortunate enough to get kind of like a free counterattack, and that really hurt Maru. This is pretty much what lost Maru the game. The first one hurt Maru, and it really did help Life get into a very stable position, and really helped feel Life could start to drone up this fourth base in a moment, because he knew the double drop was on this side of the map. So he had a good, I guess, intuition that it would be towards his main base, and he did have his rally over here, but it looks like he did change it to his main base. So his fourth base right now, it doesn't really feel like he's under attack. He had Zerglings on this side of the map. They were here, and that's where he keeps running and counterattacking. He keeps counterattacking with these Zerglings, and these Zerglings came from right up here. So he makes Zerglings, puts them in between his third and fourth base, and if a drop comes, he's got those Zerglings close, nearby, and he can defend it. If nothing comes, he might as well send them south. He takes the tower, still sees nothing, might as well keep sending him south. He still had some Zerglings over here. He morphed into the Banelings. He kind of got caught by the Hellions, but it did distract Maru, and he was kind of able to counterattack again. And he never repaired his SCVs because who's got time for that, right? Well, sadly, that just lost him so many SCVs now, and Life's working his way towards Mutas in a second here, I think. He wanted to start double upgrades. But he's getting better income. He wants to actually start taking advantage of this fourth base because he got it so quickly.
Base is under attack. Base is under attack.
And Life just always makes sure he keeps Zerglings at home. He always makes sure he has another rally of Zerglings. His next rally of Zerglings always stays home, and he is only pressuring with like half his army at all times because he knows that his mutas are out and drops are going to be a big factor. And that's one of the things that makes Life so powerful, is he's able to get this such powerful fourth base, harvester income, upgrades really quick, a little bit fast, even faster than Maru's, and he took them very quickly. And so Life's able to get all these advantages in the game, all because he's delaying his mutas. And a lesser Zerg would just lose to a double drop here and a double drop over here. But by Life ensuring he's always keeping at least half his army at home and somehow still doing damage with a smaller force of Lings by distractions or pulling, getting somewhat lucky and kind of getting through that second time, and then being able to do this because the army's once again out of position. That was really cute. I like that. Life trying to use the Widow Mines against Maru, but very smart for Maru to pick that up in the last second. Didn't actually lose too many workers. But here you see Life's Crete spread is, for the most part, unstoppable. He's just got too many tumors. He's got, what, 13 going at a time right now? Oh my god. And, just another counterattack. He can easily afford to throw away these Zerglings. At this stage of the game, the Zerg starts to float a ton of gas, or a ton of minerals, as he starts spending all his larva on mutas, because he spends all his gas so quickly on all these mutas, and then he's going to have leftover minerals. And so the larva could be an issue, but because life's so great at injects,